Welcome back, family, to the Swing Point Podcast, episode 3, however you want to say it. Welcome back. I'm joined by my editor and new co-host, Ainsley Young. Ainsley, how you doing?
I'm doing great. A little bit tired, but we're just surviving.
Yeah, I feel that. I was up early this morning for the to watch paintball, and unfortunately I couldn't watch it. I was pretty mad on my drive to work this morning, and my gas station was out of White Monster, so I was pretty hurt. So, Ainsley, tell the Swing Point Nation who you are. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Ainsley, from Canada. Played out at DBS. So I met Dylan actually. Just randomly ran into this dude. He's like the nicest, chillest dude I've ever met. I'm also
Don't
the
forget a dog
owner
on the field
of.
now. Come on.
So it did. I'm the owner of Seattle XL as well, and I'm just blessed to have this opportunity that Dylan offered me to edit his stuff, and then I said, why don't I just step outside my comfort zone a little bit and join Dylan as a co-host.
Yeah. Guys, we also just hit over 100 followers on Instagram. So I just want to say thank you guys. And with all that being said, today we actually have some new sponsors. So I want to say thank you to all of our sponsors, MacGyver for Hire, best gutter cleaners in Washington, Doodlebugs Outdoor Paintball Park, and DBS Pro Shop. Thank you guys. If you guys want to have the best experience in the Pacific Northwest, go to DBS Paintball. If you guys need the best gear in the game, DBS will get it shipped to you same day shipping, guys. And we just want to say thank you. And also to Big Cat Paintball for the most Agus socks, most comfy socks, and all around gear in the game. With that being said, guys, today we're going to be having Seth Montoya on the show. Seth is kind of like what we call a local legend, right? He's been the owner of factory for a little bit and kind of owner slash manager, almost a factory. And everybody loves Seth because without Seth, I feel like a part of the field's missing. With that being said, guys, let's get into the show. Seth, welcome on to the show. How you doing today, big dog?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. Work was long, but nevertheless, we're here for retake number 2. So yeah.
Number 2.
So Seth, tell the people who you are. Let them know who Seth Montoya is.
So I am a former referee of Doodlebug Sports, counter staff, maintenance man for a really long time. Joined up with a few different teams throughout the years. Played a lot of Ninja Balls. Played a few NXLs. Played WCPPL. But then one day I picked up a camera and I got more well known for a camera than my play, I guess.
Now, for the people that don't know what Ninja Ball is, can you actually tell us like what Ninja Ball is? What kind of tournament is it?
Ninja Ball is probably, in my opinion, the best beginner format for paintball. Comparing it to X Ball, where you're playing a bunch of points per match, this is a format where it's a race to 2 format, best of 3, essentially. A little bit longer in your prelim times, I can tell you. Like, it's not as fast paced, but you play the best of 3, you get 4 matches, and then depending on the amount of teams, I mean, currently we just had 15 teams, I think it was, for the last one. So they actually had 3 brackets. So there was no wild card, but usually it's, top 2 in each bracket, a couple wild cards, and then fight from there in the same format till the end.
And what would you say the competition's like in the Ninja Ball for D4?
Right now, the best it's ever been. Like,
Yeah.
easy, hands down, this is the most competitive D4 season Ninja Ball's ever had. Like, we've had a couple of years where it's got a couple of decent hitters, but the overall pace of everyone's got a shot.
And like what team do you I kind of mentioned that you're like a manager for DBS Factory, so kind of tell us about that. Tell us what it's like running factory in the Ninja Ball program. Like what's your kind of role and responsibility for that?
So the first role is trying to make sure I pick people that all want to hang out. That's the first role. You want to go hang out? Where do you think you're going? Yeah, come here. Sorry, he now decided he didn't want to be on camera. He's camera shy. This is Bowser.
Hi, Bowser.
Come on. So running factory is kind of just making sure we have a bunch of people that, one, want to be around each other, and then two, making sure that everyone's kind of being consistent and held accountable. I'm just kind of, I guess, the one that's willing to be the bad guy. Like if somebody's kind of being a dick, I'm the one that's like, hey, you need to knock that off. Like I'll be the dick. I'll be the one that's a hard ass. But everyone else needs to, you know, worry about getting along, working hard together, and putting in as much effort as the next guy down. Like there should never, no team should ever have just one guy out there doing something every week. It needs to be everyone out there every weekend putting in some effort.
Definitely. And so how'd you kind of like, kind of going back before you were a manager and everything, before you picked up the camera, kind of talk to me about how'd you get into paintball? I'm gonna be a sidekick. Was it a birthday party?
It was a birthday party. It's almost as if we talked about it yesterday.
I know.
That's a great question. Yeah, so I went to a birthday party. I was invited from some kid. I don't remember his name. And even after talking yesterday, I don't remember this kid at all. All I remember is his birthday party. And he told me all these kids from class were going to be there. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to go. And I remember my mom dropped me off there and no one was there. Like it was just me, him, a couple other kids. And then the adults ended up playing. And we played in somebody's field out by Doodlebug, and it was out off of EB Island, off by the trestle, and it was a great time. I played a couple more times in People's Woods, and then I ended up at an event called Elma D Day, and they had 300 people, and it was the greatest, like, Saving Private Ryan opening scene, like straight up. Open the doors, going through trenches. There's a big old wall, and all of them are shooting right at you. And from there on, I was like, this is great. I went and I played speedball for the first time, and I got bunkered. And then I learned I'm not at that age, I wasn't wanting to get all close and personal and get shot like that. So I took a little bit of a hiatus. Eventually, I ended up back at Doodlebug one day, and I remember getting bunkered. So I went and I bunkered somebody there, and it felt incredible. But at this point in time, I'm like 19 years old, so I have an ego. I think I'm the toughest shit in the world. I go put this dude down, and the ref dude, his name was Dave, is like, "Hey, come here. That was really good. Like that's exactly how you play paintball. You just can't do that." I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "We have a no bunkering rule. So when you get within 15 feet, you got to yell surrender or die." And I'm like, "What do you mean? Like, if I get within 15 feet, I'm going to shoot him because if I yell surrender or die, he's going to look back and be like, what's going on? And then pop me. Like, no, I'm just going to shoot him." And that was kind of when I got really introduced into the current form of what paintball was. Because then from there, I got offered a job. I fell in love with the job. I worked at Doodlebug for a really long time doing just about everything. And then we did league night. That was one of Danny's little creations. What could we do during the week to still offer paintball at night? And it was on Tuesday nights, which is the weirdest thing. When do you play paintball on a Tuesday night? But you had a draft night. From there, you had 4 coaches evaluate your skill set. Are you good at running and gunning? Are you good at like communication? Are you just a good attitude and seem super coachable? And then they drafted you from there. You get a little shirt with your name on it to feel all cool. And then from there, they kind of would run games every other Tuesday night for like 6 weeks. And then there wasn't a real champion. It was just everyone had a great time. And then from there, a few of us were like, hey, the first Ninja Ball is coming up. Does anybody want to play together? Like this was really fun. And a few of us were like, hey, let's go do this. And we played, I think, as leg or something like that. I don't even remember. It was one event, and I met people like Jimmy Vong, my buddy Sam Morris, this guy Jet who plays with like Cartel or played with them last year. That was the first time I ever met him. And there's a few others like Gary Guyman, Jeff Guyman's nephew. He ended up playing with us. Brandon Guglielmetti played with me. a lot of old names. And I was like, this was a lot of fun. We got our ass kicked. I think it was like 8th out of 9th place, but that was the real like introduction into what it is now.
Yeah, I definitely think that I wish I could have seen the indoor. I really wish I could have been here for the indoor. I think that if we had the indoor, paintball in the Pacific Northwest would be so much better because it's not just the 60 days of sunshine and you don't have to be out there in the freezing cold because I could tell you the one thing I hate is getting shot in the hand and it's like 30 degrees outside.
Now,
Just hate
don't get
getting
me wrong.
wet,
Don't get me
bro. I
wrong.
hate diving into puddles.
Okay. Just because, so I'll be blatantly honest, so we're all clear. Even if you went to the indoor, it still had the chance of being slightly chilly. It literally depended if I got there or somebody got there early enough and turned the heater on fast enough for it to warm up, depending on the days, right? Or the session you were at. And we always played butt crack of dawn. I think it was like 7, 8 in the morning, right? And then had to be gone by 11 so the indoor could run their normal operating hours. And so with that, I also did all the cleaning crew. Okay. I had to put down a lot of water to wash things, guys. And that means I have to suck it all back up. And I only got so much time in a day to do that. And there were a few times that I would be sucking and water just kept coming back. I swear to God, it was like coming out of the ground. I wouldn't put water down for like an hour. I make this place dry. I go back over there, I kick a bunch, and then there's water. And I'm like, this sucks. So
Yeah.
like you still would get a little damp depending on the day, like especially Tuesday nights because Tuesdays was cleaning crew. So right after I did all this cleaning, we'd do league night and just destroy it. I'm like, this is great. Me and Ikuto would just worked real hard on all this.
So how long has Ikito been there with you? Because you and Ikito worked together for a little while, right?
Dude, me and Ikuto are like best buds. If I could go and work with anyone ever again in any way, shape, or form, it's Ikuto. I think he's probably been there, if I had to guess, like 10th,
Been there since like 2014,
2014.
2015, because I started in 2016 and he was there.
Okay, so yeah, like 2014, 2015. So he's been there like 10 years. Almost.
Yeah, and those who don't know, Ikito is the current field manager, Doodlebugs Outdoor Paintball Park in Snohomish, Washington. And just a phenomenal worker. Dude has probably the best work ethic I've ever seen, and just never is sad or mad or anything. He's honestly like the ultimate person you want to like really be working in a paintball park, if we're being 100% honest.
100%.
If you ever want to find him in the summertime, dude, it's always wearing yellow Crocs and one of Seth's hoodies that has a hot dog man on the back. And if you just yell hot dog man, that man will turn around because I turned that into his nickname.
Yep. His other name is Shitty Toes because, like you said, he's always wearing Crocs. And at a paintball field in Crocs, like your toes are disgusting. And I gave him that one.
That's a funny nickname. I mean, so kind of going into it. So then did your wife work at DBS as well?
Yep. So that's
Okay.
what's even better is like paintball in the community and the people you meet. It's not just like a hobby, like paintball is a family. I know so many people through paintball, and I got to meet her. I got to meet all of the Court family. Like, even so, from Danny's episode, the insurance person he's talking about in the Danny episode is my wife.
That's
Okay.
cool. I think you texted me that and everything.
I did. I remember in the middle of it because I texted her because I put on the episode. I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, he's talking about my wife. And I literally texted her and I was like, you should go to like this time frame on this. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe Danny remembers that. That was so long ago. So
Yeah.
I got to meet her through there. And then I knew Austin Woodward through football when we were little kids, who plays on Uprising now. And so I've ran into him at Ninja Ball. I think it was 2024. Gabe asked me to play an event, and I'm like, I guess I'll come out of retirement. Let's do this. And I'm sitting there with Mason Hu, and I'm like, who's this dude? Do you know him? And he's like, that's Austin. He used to play forever ago, this and that. And I was like, I swear I know this guy. And then Austin's looking at me, and we did the Spider-Man meme of like, I know you, you know me. And then it was like, oh, where do we know each other from? And then it was like, oh, we know each other from football. But it was like when we were 8, 9 years old, and we've never seen each other since. This is fantastic. And now every event, like, hey, dude, good luck. Really glad you made it on Uprising. It's super cool. I even messaged him like before because I saw him practicing with them before he was actually on the Uprising roster. And I was like, so I see you're going to Uprising. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, I'm pretty sure I know what I'm talking about. I've been around a little bit and I've watched a few things. And there's a few key signs that are happening here.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy because he's kind of turned into like a well-known player around the league. Dude,
almost instantly. Him and Alec both.
Both of them,
Holland. Holland, I mean, that's who's on the back of her wall right there, hanging up. Alec Holland's the stud.
Yeah.
You guys saw the pictures I shared of Alec, right, for his birthday.
Oh, his
right?
headband pictures and stuff?
Dude, he used to send those every week. I only had those ones that I screenshotted, but I probably got sent over like 100 of those. Like, Alec was definitely that little, like, super amazing at paintball, but one of those, I don't even know how you want to put it, like, young kid at heart, and was always doing the bathroom pictures just all the time, showing off all the gear in the bathroom. And don't get me wrong, I did it too. So like if somebody went and was like, I'm gonna go dig for one, you'll find one. I definitely did it. But I was like, I reminded him, I was like, yo, dude, eventually you're gonna want to just take those pictures at the field or something like that. Like, you don't need to wear them in the bathroom. It's kind of weird.
I feel like we all did that at one point, though. Let's be
That
honest.
It's where you start. It's the levels of your paintball career, and one of the lowest ones, like right before D6, or maybe in the same realm of D6, is the bathroom pic selfies, and it's always with the mask, the headband, the jersey on, ready to go play paintball, and it's like, no, you're just sitting in your bathroom.
You're like, look back at this picture, you're like, man, what the hell was I doing?
Oh yeah, I never want anyone to see this ever again.
And now we don't get ready before like 45 minutes before we have to go on. We went from wearing our gear to the field to changing at the field.
That's the Mason trick. Wear it to the field, man. Like, that is actually like a legend trick right there. If you guys want to know how to save time and save warmth, put on at least a couple of things. Your knee pads, those slide shorts if you have them, and go to the field in that.
I still do that, dude. Every time I wear my pants and my knee pads. I was like, I don't want to be pulling those out of my bag, and they're cold, dude, and it's cold outside. It's like, worse enough having to put your arm pads and like jersey on, you're taking a nice warm hoodie off. Like, last thing you want to be doing is like trying to put your knee pads on and slide shorts and paintball pants on, dude, in the cold.
Do you guys wash your shit every weekend?
Yes. And if you don't,
you guys are methodical about it?
So I wash my shit, but I never put it in the dryer. That is one of my like superstitions. I have, in my probably over 10 years that I've been playing, I've only ever had to put my stuff in the dryer 3 times because I needed it the next day. Come from playing.
I'm just gonna
hockey,
not
right?
talk about
so
mine
I'm like
and let
hella superstitious. It all goes down to like, I don't change anything, dude. I've been wearing the same base shirt for years. And like same mask, same setup. I go on a tournament. I play like shit. I'll switch my mask. Same headband.
Yeah, I'm definitely not that superstitious or anything like that. I've had moments of like this and that, like, oh, can't change this now. We're on a hot streak. But the like, oh, I just played bad one time, I'm gonna switch my mask. I never did those ones. But I'm also not gonna tell you what my cleaning routine is.
That guy who never washes his gear.
Yeah, you've heard, huh?
I haven't heard. I'm just looking at you, and you're like one of those guys.
It was pretty bad. Like, definitely there was times, because it was more along the lines of working at Doodlebug and then finding time to play. I played in the more I'd go set up, play, and then I have to tear down, and then I'd like strip at the field, put all my stuff in my bag and go home. And then honestly, like the first thing I want to do is take a shower. So I take a shower, and then what do I want to do? I want to eat and relax for a few. And then by then I'm falling asleep in a chair. And then the next day I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go to work. And that gear is my work clothes and my play stuff. So it was kind of like, oh, this is kind of crappy. That was the cool benefit of the indoor though, is I would be doing cleaning crew, and if I had to, I could be like, I gotta throw my pants in real quick, or be like, oh, here's Danny's stuff. I'm gonna throw Danny's pants on. Oh, Danny wears the same size cleat as me. Oh, look at that. I got cleats to wear real quick.
So I just
Like
want to.
those,
I heard a rumor. Sorry to cut you off. I heard a rumor that you don't actually own a paintball gun.
yeah.
What?
So just so you guys know, you
You
don't have
don't
to
own a
invest all
paintball
this
gun?
money. You don't need to invest money in all this fancy gear. You just need to have ties with somebody that has fancy gear. Like all you people close to Donnie has tons of stuff. Just ask to
Right
borrow
there,
it,
bro.
maybe.
Right there.
Right?
Donnie's like, you get a marker, you get a marker, you get a
Right?
marker, dude. You want to
Like
try
there
it? I
are a
got the
lot
newest
of
one.
there's a lot of friendly people in paintball that'll let you basically take what 1,500, $2,000 out on the field and go dive around with it.
I was like, Donnie, when my idol was, when Dusty took it to Tampa from your last shoot to get it fixed, Donnie just gave me his idol. He's like, just give it back to me when you get yours back. I was like, really? You just want me to take this back home with me to Canada? Like, you trust me with this? I was like, I barely know you, dude. It's like, yeah,
Right?
just take it. And I was like, okay.
I used to. Danny was super cool because of working at Doodlebug and all this stuff. He would let me kind of use if it was sitting in the back room on his gear bag and I wanted to go play. Like, if I break it, I buy it. Don't break it. Don't break it. Right? Like those are basically the rules.
Break it and buy it.
Yeah, so I would go out and I played with Danny's stuff for a while. I ended up buying a gun here and there, and then, being a young, dumb young man, like I always had financial issues. So it's one of the first things you can do to make money or get some money quickly in paintball. Sell your shit.
Sell your gear.
I sold all of my different paintball guns, and the only gun that I even really what?
Did you regret it?
There's two that I regret. And one was I had this CS Pro that was an infamous one. It was like Kevin Rudolph's gun or something like that from Vegas, because it was a pro owned gun that I got through a guy, and I loved that gun.
It was I shot CS2.
It was a CS Pro. It was like the first one. It was a long time ago. I'm talking 2019.
Maybe the 1.5 or the 1, maybe.
Yeah, like a 1. Yeah, it was that old. So like I loved that gun and I missed that one. But then the other one is Evan Topness invited me to go play with the Mud Dogs at Kitsap a few years back. And we played this open 3-man event where they actually gave you guns as prizes. Like, that's pretty unheard of. And somehow we managed to go home with 3 really nice 180Rs. And I had that and I love it. But right now, Chris Severn's shooting it and he has it. So that's like the only one that I have my eye on. I'll buy that gun back, but that's because it has a spot in my heart as like that was my pride. Like, yeah, it has something attachment to it. But anything else, like, no, I have no desire to buy a paintball gun. And I know we did our episode yesterday and you guys reminded me about Ninja Ball. So guess who's coming out on Sunday? Like, I'll be there Sunday and I'll be shooting somebody else's gun.
Yeah, Seth's back on Sunday. Let's go.
Only doing drills though. Only doing drills.
I've sold some stuff that I regret. I bought Cole Scott's Uprising Idol. I ended up buying it, right? And in that process, I had to sell 2 guns to come up with money because I was broke. I was in school at the time, didn't have a lot of money, right? So the 2 guns that I sold, I regretted hugely, and that was my pride and joy of my very first like top of the line marker, which was a CS2 that I got when I first started playing speedball. Had an E-Tech for a little while, but then I bought the CS2, and that CS2, the biggest regret I have was selling that because I have my very first trophy behind me off screen there, and I won it with that gun.
Yeah.
And then when I sold it, I was like, man, why did I sell that? And then I had this CCM T2 pump I got for steel when they were kind of low on the market. And I was like, well, it's just sat in my garage for like X amount of years. I used it a bunch. We have like an indoor up here. It's like an indoor kind of like a hyperball-ish thing with like structures. I used it a lot there. And I was like, then I sold it. I'm like, I'm never going to use this. And as soon as I sold it, I was like, man, why did I sell that?
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I've only messed around with pump out in the rec ball fields a little bit, but I definitely found a cool love for that as like a whole. Like I wish we had 15, 20 people that were like, I want to play pump. And we could do a cool 3-man pump or something. Like even some of the mechanical stuff. Like I know Tuna does a cool mechanical and like mag fed group of things, but we don't have very many mechanical people wanting to play mechanical 5-man at Doodlebug. Like
I think
the
there's a group that
consensus
does that.
is we only play 5-man speedball at 10-2.
So like up here, that scene's kind of bigger because it's a lot of old school ballers from like BPL and PPL, like way back. And like,
Mm-hmm.
as most people know, the speedball field up here just reopened after it was closed for a while for some renovations, and we have a 7-man NPPL rules uncapped semi event coming up, as well as a pump 3-man. And
So wait, what?
everyone was like, hell
Wait,
yeah,
wait,
pump.
hold on. Wait, there's 7-man coming back?
Yeah, we'll have 7-man up
When?
here. It's in May. So there's
Oh
a
my God, you got it. Why didn't you tell me sooner? I don't have one of
it's
those
the
cool travel IDs.
24th of May. So it's MPPL rules, uncapped semi, 7-man.
That's exactly what I want to do. See, those
When
are
that
fun
post
things that
went
would
out,
get me
dude,
back
everyone was
out.
like, yes. I see all these guys I haven't played for years commenting, I'm coming back, we're making a
Yep.
team, dude.
Yep.
Uncapped semi, let's fucking go.
Is it street ball or it's team based? Like I get to pick my team.
Team based. You can pick your team.
Oh.
Yeah. It's gonna be bloodbath, dude. It's gonna be bloodbath.
I'm gonna literally after this call figure out how fast I can get an ID that I can go over the border because I don't
Just
have
get
a valid passport right
enhanced
now.
license if you can still
I
get
know.
one of
I
those.
have to go get that though. I don't have that. I'm a loser.
Nah, dude, you can come up here, I got a place you can crash.
I'm gonna take you up on it to play some 7-man, and
Yeah.
like that would instantly get me out of retirement. It's
I
fun
think
things
we're showing
like that.
Seth's age here, guys. I think we're showing Seth's age here just a little bit. Yeah.
I never got the chance to actually play 7-man. Like we did screw around 7-man stuff, but competitive 7-man, I didn't actually play, Dylan. I'm not that old. Like I know I got gray hair, bud, but I'm not that
Greyhound.
I'm not that old.
So kind of getting back to more of that speedball 5-man, right? So you used to play like you said, then you kind of went into retirement, then you got out of retirement to start managing factory. Kind of talk to us about that. How did that kind of come along, and what are like the pros and cons of kind of being like the manager, administrative kind of guy for DBS Factory?
So I'll start with the pros and cons first. The pros are I get to be with a group of people that I very much enjoy all the time. Right? Like I very much love being at the paintball field on Sundays. So it gives me a reason to be there while I'm not playing or doing photos or whatever it may be, and just hanging out and bringing some form of value to something. Uh, the con side of it, dealing with a lot of like drama, like, and not necessarily like drama of like gossiping and bickering, but the drama of people just not wanting to be consistent and people not wanting to go the extra mile or not seeing the value in certain things. And just then there are a few little arguments in the moment, but you kind of expect that being a coach or a leader or whatever it may be is like eventually you are going to have some of those hard conversations of like, yo, you really need to knock that off. Like, and for instance, I'm going to put Cage on the bus on this one is like Cage was doing this thing where if you guys shot him, he got kind of pissy, not just in tournaments, but at practice.
But I was
and a couple of
a little
times
hissy fit.
A little hissy fit, but then a little hissy fit turned into a bigger hissy fit the next time, which then the third time or fourth time was a little bit bigger. To then finally, there was one practice where I had 6 people, including him, and they wanted a bunch of matches. So I was like, okay, I think I put him in for like 4 or 5, and we had no breaks. And that was like the first match of the day. You guys shoot him, or whoever it was shoots him. Cage throws his hissy fit, and then literally next second, I'm like sitting there looking at Nathan, like, I can't believe we're having another hissy fit this early in the morning. And then all of a sudden, I see Cage just driving away. And I'm like, yo, wait, what? And then I have to message him and be like, yo,
Like, you good, bro? Like,
yeah, are you coming back? Nothing. And then I've kind of learned that there's times to just, with certain people, you can be in the moment and be like, cool, hey, that's not cool. Let's do it this way. But then there's other people that you just let them drive away. Next time, you pull them off to the side before practice even starts and go, hey, dog, like, that can't happen again. Like, you put me in a weird spot and you put everyone else in a weird spot. Like, you got to learn to hold a little bit of it or outlet it a little bit more healthily. Like, even if it's screaming and yelling, scream and yell, but don't just get in your car and then leave.
yeah, so kind of like continuing off of that, you having to deal with that, and like obviously, I run my own team. There's a lot of people that run their own teams. What kind of advice do you have for them just to like not just want to walk away from it all? Because I know there's times like there's been a lot of shit that's gone on in teams, right? And I'm just like, I'm done, dude. I'm ready to walk away. I'm like, the door is right there. I could just open and just like walk away and not come back. Like, what
Yeah.
makes you just keep continuing and like just dealing with it and not going to like, I could just walk away and not come back and like I'd have less stress in my life?
The less stress part. That's so funny.
Hey man,
I
it's
guess
stressful.
the first thing I'd say for advice is when starting a team, you have to have kind of the same goals and like where you want to reach. Everyone kind of has to have all that same goal, in my opinion. Of course, there's teams that don't do this and they find great success, especially deeper down the levels. But from a starting value, it's finding people that are like, I want to do drills at least once a month. I want to play every Sunday. And then I want to maybe try to do a camaraderie barbecue once a month, kind of thing. Like different team building things, but making sure everyone's on that same page. And then 2, it's making sure everyone kind of flows together on and off the field. Like I've had people that I can play with, but then I can't stand off the field. And I've learned that when I have both working well together, where I like all of my teammates, I want to, conversate with my teammates throughout the week. I want to check on them, ask them how their family's doing, invite them to things that's not paintball related. Those things will directly correlate into how you play in tough situations, because I feel like when you have your back against the wall, you trust your brothers more than you trust just people. Like if I'm ever on the field with Jordan Garcia, I know when he's alive and I know when he's dead. And I know that if it's just me and him, I can almost just put up a telepathic wavelength and I know where his barrel's looking without him ever saying it. So it's finding a thing like that for you guys or whoever it is definitely important. And then the last one is do everything you can to stick together. Go through everything together as far as you can. Right now, the hardest thing for me is every year I'm having to bring more and more different things in. So I'm trying to work on a longevity plan for factory and how can I build a camp that isn't as difficult every year, being like, well, who's available? Who wants to play?
Who's
Who
coming
has
back?
the right
Who's
mind?
leaving?
Yeah, it's so difficult. And if you get a group of people that all want to stick together, it makes it so much easier for whoever's running it. Like It's night and day different.
That's what
So
like
kind
I
of
found out. Like you reached out to me in the off season. You're like, hey, you want to play for Factory? And I was like, I looked at that. I was like, there's no way I'm fucking good enough to play on Factory. First of all, and like that was like, I was like, what
But
the
even
fuck,
that, see, you
dude?
sold yourself short because look at what's going on with Factory right now. Is like everyone takes it as like Factory's this great thing. They're winning all the time. And yeah, we did. We've won a lot of events. We've won a lot of seasons. Like, but the difference is in a lot of those early ones or the established what made Factory, especially locally, the core of that's gone. It was the second Jordan Garcia left to go to PTN and keep making his way up through the ranks. That's when Factory was kind of at this weird stagnant hold of what are we gonna do? How do we play Ninja Ball? Are we gonna play nationally? And if anything, who do we call? Like what? And so then I got called, and I'm like, I'll play this one or I won't play this one, whatever it may be. And so instead, I was like, I'll just call people I know. And I'm always on the phone with Ian from Hype. So me and him are literally brainstorming all the time of like, who are these people that I see that I think can, one, bring value to a camp, two, can listen well, and not like listen well as like on the field, but takes directive well, right? Who's coachable and who just has a good attitude. And that's why I called you. That's why I messaged you. I was like, you have a good attitude. You're always out doing drills. You're always doing the extra mile. And when I looked at that compared to everyone on my line that year, I'm like, other than Nathan, you decimated everyone from Factory in the amount of effort you put in.
Like,
Because
I was
no one on
honored
Factory
to
was
like
going to drills
get
other
that
than
message, dude. I looked at that and I was like, it made me like feel good, and I felt like I actually did something. But then I also had to like think to myself. I was like, well, as you know, I didn't have a team first of all when I started DBS, right? I was like on and off with the lights, and I stepped away from playing WNXL because it was very expensive being
me.
a single person trying to fund my way, right? I was like, yeah, I'll step away, and didn't have a team. And then I saw the quote unquote like feeder like rise up team for Uprising, right? I say, why not? I'll go out there. Nobody knows who the fuck I was at the time, right? This is like my first time around. And then Dusty messaged me, he's like, you made it. I was like, okay. Like made it on, right? It's a good team. Definitely didn't have the same intentions that I wanted. And then I got an offer from a lot of people at DBS know Mike, Big Mike that runs Unforgiven. Mike actually let me play my first Ninja Ball with him the first time I ever went to DBS. So he kind of knew me, and he's like, okay, I'll give you a shot on my D4 line. And I was like, D4, bro? It's like I've never fucking played D4 in my life. Like,
Were
I
you
haven't,
still ranked D5 then at this time?
I
Like
was
you had like
still
no
ranked a
point.
beginner. Didn't even have a rank. I didn't have a rank.
Okay.
So I haven't even played a full season of D5 yet. I just jumped. I went like this. I was like, okay, we played, I think it was 2 D5 events. I went this D5 twice, and I was like right into D4. And even standing right now, I haven't played a full season of D4 yet. I think it was like D3 or 4 maybe. I think was my first D4 event. And Mike offers me this spot. I was like, hey, play it out for the rest of the season. I have all these guys. I brought on some of these guys that were free agents, and I kind of watched them. I was like, these guys will be a good fit because like Mike has 3 teams, and I was like, we're the kind of like the short end of the stick. We're the third team. So I bring on my buddy Hayden. You know Hayden. Hayden knows you from like a long time ago because Hayden used to ref.
Yeah.
Hayden used to ref. Hayden used to be at League Nights, and he was kind of like my guy. Kind of like how certain people have their own deals. And I was like, hey, got to the end of the season, looked at everything. I was like, hey, I feel like I could start my own thing. And I was like, message Mike. And I was like, obviously he runs his camp a certain way, and I didn't want to overstep him. And I was like, how would you feel if this and this? He's like, it's kind of like his thing. I was like, if it's not okay with you, I was like, nothing against you, but I'd like to step away and just kind of find something that fits what I want, right? So that's when a lot of my guys that I found when I played Unforgiven came with me to my current team, Seattle Exile, because we all wanted the same thing. And that's when, like, when you messaged me and you were like, hey, do you want to play for Factory? I was like, do I really want to step away from the guys that I have battled through. We finished bottom of the barrel, D4 all through the season, played like shit. Do I want to step away from that and just leave them? And that was my big like decision maker was I want to work through it with these guys and battle through this instead of just stepping away to join another team.
And in reality,
Loved
that's the
to
right
play for
decision.
Factory, but I was like, I can't leave my guys to hang out to dry. I was like, Hayden's followed me to tech. I call it two teams because Seattle Exile is just basically Unforgiven Rain. But Hayden came along with me every step of the way, and so did Rod. And we picked up Shane and a couple other guys, and John came over from Unforgiven as well. And I was like, I'd rather battle through the hardships and all these like shitty times playing paintball than jumping from team to team, right?
Yeah.
You know, there's a quote I like kind of rewinding back. Have you ever seen the movie Miracle? It's about when the Americans beat the Russians in hockey, and
Love
there's a
that movie,
quote in
dude.
there. Yeah, Herb Brooks says hard work beats talent when talent doesn't want to work hard. And that kind of stuck with me. You know, I'm not the most talented, but I guarantee you, Seth, you've probably seen me at the field every weekend drilling or, you know, playing points. And
You guys both. You guys work
yeah.
hard. I'm amazed that people like even you want me on this where I'm in my young years of paintball, I was the one who was like, I'm not doing drills. Oh no, my loader isn't working. Oh no, I need batteries. Oh no, I don't have a gun. That was my favorite excuse. I don't have a gun. Oh man, I love that. I would just give me a gun and I would just start walking away like, nope, don't have nothing to shoot. And then the second it's game time, like I'm ready, guys. Like put me in, coach. Like let's play games. I was a terrible person for that.
You know, but kind of going back to that, I played D5 with Hooligans, ran by Steven Underwood and Zach Mills, and then I ended up getting an invite to go with my boys, the Seattle Nomads, to World Cup, and then from there, my mentor actually Jordan Chandler, and he kind of took me under his wing, and even now we're still drilling together. Like we drill every weekend together. And he lives 3 hours away, so either one of us drives up. He drives up here, I drive down to Portland, and we drill every weekend. And it's just kind of one of those things, right?
And don't forget, you've also been at Brad's house too.
Oh yeah, and then recently now I've been at one of Seth's players' house, Brad MacGyver for Hire, actually
This
one of the
guy
sponsors of
right
the
up
Swing Point.
here.
One of the Swing Point podcast sponsors. We've been helping. We drill. We're drilling when he gets back from his family vacation again. We're drilling every weekend. And it's honestly kind of one of those things that I feel like drills are so important, right? And so
It's the most important part of the game, dude.
100%. I think
Like,
drills are more important than points.
Now that I'm a grown man, I agree with you. If you asked me 10 years ago, I deny.
he'd be like, no,
But
I
now
just
I
want to
tell
play
you, you get
scrims.
better playing drills. You don't get better playing
Well,
points.
that's part of why I actually excelled so quickly was because I was like, I'll play scrims, but like I'm gonna go drill 2 to 3 times a week. I'll play scrims and I'll fucking message Nate and I was like, Nate, I wanna like get better. I was like, can we do drill sessions? So I was in the DBS Discord, he had an offer for coaching and private drill sessions, and I said, this is a huge opportunity to take advantage of a resource that a lot of people do not have. And I was drilling with Nate at least once a month.
But see, you also learn to find the value in that, where you just said it, where you were like, you're taking an opportunity that most people aren't going to take. Because most people, at least from my perspective, would rather go buy a bunch of different guns, go buy different masks, go buy things to make them look a certain way versus go play a certain way. And I've always kind of been pushy of that, even with other teams that I've been associated with, when they're like, I want one jersey every event. We need to do all these different things. I'm like, we could maybe do it like twice a year, but like, we really should just focus on either one, paying a coach to help us, or two, all of us going out to a couple extra days a week. If it's something at the indoor, something at outdoor, and doing drills, like we need to do something. And that was the only real way of the best times we've ever played. In reality, I don't know if everyone actually can empathetically look at it, is when we've been doing drills. If people go do drills and people add to their tool belt, it's things that you then take into a match or when you're doing scrims, and then you implement that into your play. You're not going to go practice and be perfect in a scrim situation. But if you go snap shoot 500 times at a cone from one spot, that I pretty much believe that if you had to get yourself into that exact scenario in a play, you're going to hit that shot. And it's because you went and did 500 snapshots on it that it's such muscle memory that you are just lightning quick. One ball out, back in, dead
That
play.
happened to me at my local tournament at NWX. A guy I practiced at Dorito because that Doritos was a true Dorito side, and I go down and I'm able to just hit time this
You
perfect
just
snap.
one
Shit, like,
ball
here's
him, dude.
the one ball them, and he was just like player, and I was all like, I have been waiting to hear that for so
You're like,
long.
I am him, dude.
I am him, and then we end up winning the tournament and everything, and. I remember Jordan was all like, so remember all those times I used to yell at you about snap shooting? I was like, snap shooting. It's almost like what B Reed said to Danny in our other episode about snap
Snap
shooting.
shooting, dude.
Yep.
Snap shooting. But
It's one of the most fucking valuable skills, dude. And if
Kyle
people
Berry,
people
yeah.
go out and actually do that, you'll see massive improvement, right? Because then your accuracy is there, and then do it in all different types of bunkers, not just like a tower. Go in like the shitty cans. I know a lot of people hate playing cans, dude. But cans, Doritos,
I love cans.
mini towers, the towers. Just play it in every spot, and then it'll just get better, right?
Dusty Court made me play a Dorito, but I had no room. So I was like having to find the weirdest angles. And I was just drilling with Dusty. Leading up to the season, I was drilling with Dusty like three times a month. And we went for a good solid 4 months, and that was fun. Dusty Court is one of the coaches of Uprising. Nate, who Ainsley's talking about, Nate Schroeder, number 4 for Seattle Uprising, captain of it. And
Nasty
kind of
Nate.
nasty
Yeah.
Nate, the boogeyman.
Man, Mr. Dunk Master, dude.
So kind of going back to that, you said you were having to pick up players for Factory. What goes into you picking up, looking at players for Factory? Like, what are the determining factors that you said Ian, right? And Ian is
Yeah.
hype headband.
Ian from Hype is definitely like
So
a
kind of-
secret source
Ian's
of
a
it.
So-
G, bro.
Before you kind of go into all that, tell us about Ian and what does he help to do for Factory this last
Well,
couple seasons?
He's definitely he is our jersey sponsor, and like he is a very close friend of mine. So me and him have always had this open line of communication for a very long time. I probably talked to him on the phone an hour to 2 hours a day, 2 to 3 days a week. Like, dude, he has pooped with me on FaceTime. And my wife didn't even believe that we did that. Not like me looking. I heard you chuckle, Ansley. Not like looking, but like if I called and he's pooping, he's gonna answer and show me his face and be like, dude, I'm doing something. Right? And he did that. He called me while he was doing that, and I showed my wife, and she was like, no way. He got so embarrassed, so red. He hung up so fast. And I was like, we have this real big open line of communication. So I called him up and I was like, dude, I'm having some issues. And this is last season. So not this current year, but the last year. I was like, who do I call that has experience, can be a good back player, but also be just an absolute monster when things hit the fan? When shit hits the fan, you got to have some people that can battle back for you. So he's like, you need to call Alan. And I'm like, really? He's like, dude, call Alan. It's Ninja Ball. It's only D4. And I was like, all right, cool. So I called Alan up and I'm like, yo, what's your APPA and stuff? And he's like, I don't know. I'm probably D2 still, X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, yeah, F you, Alan. You're not D2 still. You're probably D3. But like, I'm pretty sure you might be D4. And he's like, all right. So he sends me this thing. He's almost D5. Like, he's lost all of his points. He's like, I can play paintball again. I was like,
What
all
team
right,
was he
cool.
playing for before he joined y'all?
He did a little bit of stuff where he would intermix with doing some like the Butcher's Camp, BTA stuff, going to World Cup, and just not playing like a consistent season, I guess. He always played kind of that hit and miss, like I'll play an event here and I'll play an event there. So like, but then he did the same thing like most of us all will. You guys will probably end up doing it here in the next 10 years of your life too, where You're going to go away from paintball for like 2 to 3 years. You're still going to be there. You're just not going to be there. Okay. So, like, if we're talking before that, yeah, Alan played with the Butchers. That's where I met Alan or the Butchers BTA camp, that whole vibe of people. And he was one of the first people I actually ever met too. I met him at the indoor, and he was like, "Who are you?" And I was like, "I'm Seth. I'm one of the new refs." And he's like, "Do you know what you're doing?" And I was like, "I mean, kind of." And he's like, "All right, cool. Cause like I might cheat a little bit." And I was like, "Oh, okay, we're gonna be like that." And he's like, "Oh, we're gonna be like that." And I remember that interaction with him, and he was such a good person and so funny that I'm like, huh, okay, I'll give him a call. He wants to play. And then I ask him if he knows anyone else. So then he asks about Keo playing, his friend Keo. I was like, I don't know him. I call Ian. Ian's like, yeah, Keo's great, dude. Like, he's a phenomenal player. So I instantly green light both of them. I'm like, cool, you guys are playing for us. And I'm
Where's
so
Keo at
glad
this
I
season?
did. What?
Where's Keo at this season?
Keo wanted to take the time off this year. He said he might want to come back for one event. So I'm like waiting to see, but I haven't heard much from him since. He's been doing some family things. I know he went to, what is it, Korea or something like that at one point in time. Like, he left the country at one point in time for a while. So
Okay. Well, anyway,
probably
sorry to
just,
interrupt. Yeah.
no, you're good. He's just, I think he's living life, doing a couple of things. That same thing, like I said, there's going to be a point where paintball has been so much of your life that you got to have to remember that you can do other things on your weekends in the summer too. Right. So I forget where we were now.
You were talking about how you picked up Keo and everything, so then you green lighted them both to come back.
Oh yeah, so I greenlight both of them, and I'm glad I did. As much as our record last year may not have shown for it, because of course at the start of the year I'm like, we're gonna go undefeated, yeah, factory, and then we win. I think what was it, the first event, and then the second event, and then the third event it was like 9th place or something, or 7th place, and I'm like, yo, what the hell happened? And they're like, yo this, yo that, and I'm like, all right, chill out. We need to like work a little harder. We put in a little bit more effort, and then I think we get like 7th or 8th again. I'm like, yo, we're starting to go down the pecking order, guys. Like, we're going backwards, and then we don't do good again. I'm like, guys, by the final event, I remember it was Tyler Skidmore. He's on the sideline. What?
Fucking Skiddy. Love that guy.
Yeah, so Tyler Skidmore was telling people that Factory was out of the race. Factory can't win Ninja Ball. Or not Ninja Ball, but we couldn't win the season. And I said, well, that's not actually accurate. If you guys take X place, if Mud Dogs take X place and I win, I win. He's like, I don't know about that. I know about that.
He knows about that. He's just got the ring, dude.
And then another fun one too is like the first Ninja Ball may not have gone our way this season, but no, having a coach that understands the format too when you play 5 minutes, and understanding the, hey, we won our point this fast, they won this fast, we need to be X fast, or we need to hold them for X amount of time. Like, that's probably the more fun part of being a coach that I never realized, that now I actually like look forward to some of these closer games, and like, hey guys, like, we actually need to scheme, and like, just so you know, if we see a minute 23 on the clock, we technically won the point. We could lose what we win. And they're like, wait, what? I was like, yeah, that's kind of the way this format works, is it's best 2 out of 3. But when there's a no point, it's all about a race system, and they got to beat us.
Yeah. So you wait, like you pick up Allen. I mean, honestly, R.I.P. to Allen. Rest in peace to Lord Nagata, Panda Clan forever. Um, but you guys look phenomenal, and I know everybody likes to bag on Cage, but Cage is a phenomenal player.
That dude's a killer, dude. Anytime that guy's on the field, dude, I was like, you see that guy there? We need 3 guns on him. I'm like, if we shoot him off the break, we need to say kill Cage, dude.
I like that you say that, like, hey, make sure you yell killed Cage too, because like I'm kind of that same way, even if I'm playing against Cage. Him and Mason, those
Oh,
are
yeah.
two people that when I see them on the other side, I'm like, we need to identify that guy the whole time. And when he dies, we need to actually name that he died, because he's going to be put in some fear that like he's going to be at my end of the snake shooting me in the ass in no time.
I mean, that's why Cage got the name El Rayo Blanco, because he really is the White Lightning. I mean, if we're being serious, that man is fast, and what's crazy is he just knows when to gunfight, when to not, and he makes the right reads. Like Cage, I know Seth likes to bag on you, dude, but you're
I'm
phenomenal.
your coach, Cage. I have to bag on you. I can't say you're perfect or you're going to keep skipping practice.
And then, like last roster, you guys had Jack on there too. Jack is a baller as well.
I wanted to wear a sign that says, I'm the guy you're mad at right now, the second I got out of the car, because I could feel it. There was just this weird vibe in the air that I knew people looked and saw Jack on my roster, and they're like, they're breaking the rules. I don't know how, but they're breaking the rules. And I can't believe I found that online on that loophole, because I didn't know that you can roster a D2 player in D4. It just comes down to a bunch of numbers. And
it does suck, right? I'm not gonna lie. It does suck because, it's not fair that like a D2 player should be playing. Even like I don't even agree with the D3 player playing, right? I think that, like if D3 players playing in D5, like that's kind of messed up too. But I mean, altogether,
my boy Nathan was sandbagging only a little bit. He was just trying to play paintball, man.
Yeah. But I mean, honestly though, I think that I do think that it's good, it kind of gives them some experience behind it. But I mean, it's all for it. But no, when I saw Jack, I was like, Seth, I hate you right now.
Yeah, right. And I was just like, it's not me. I don't make the rules. I just went
Yeah,
online,
we can't blame him for the
double
rules.
checked the rule book, and realized that I found a loophole that says I can have a D2 player and a D3 player as long as their math doesn't math out to this. And when I did the math, it was like 10 points shy or something like that.
And
so
that number is really high. I was looking at it because I was scrolling through. I had a couple guys reach out to me, and it's like doing the math. I'm like, it's a really high number.
And so for everyone to be clear, like the way it worked is it's because Jack is such a low D2 because he had just been bumped into D2. Like I want to say he had 1088 on his spread. And Cage is also like in the midst of D ranking. Like people have to realize Cage hasn't actually gone to a national event and played, I want to say, in 2 or 3 seasons now. And when you kind of go up the ranks to a certain thing and you only play down, well, eventually everything naturally starts decaying. And when it naturally decays, that's how you get back down into a fun scenario where you can be like D5 again. And then everyone's like, how are you D5? Well, I didn't make the rules. It's just the way the rules are. And the way we do it is there's a decay factor. Do I completely agree with it? No. I think you should only ever be allowed to go down one rank from what you've ever been. So like if you've been pro, like on APPA, it's in my opinion that you should only ever be able to go to semi-pro. I hit D3 and then I went right back down to D5 because I took a hiatus, and then I'm able to play all these beginner events as a D5. I shouldn't have been able to. I definitely ruined some people's times by doing it. And at the same point, like I'm having great times and great memories, but it's based off of I learned the system and I was shafted from the system at a young, career to where I now know, oh, this is how you get to a certain point. Like 9 Lives Donnie, like 9 Lives Donnie's forever D4. Like same with Grandpa Gabe, forever D4. There's little hidden things in the rule book that can definitely help a team.
100%.
I would say 100%. And kind of going back on that, you've been playing paintball for a little bit. I know. What were like your favorite memories playing paintball? Like I gotta hear these.
I like all the memories you get when you go traveling. So that's definitely the best part. Traveling. when COVID hit, we went on a trip because Doodlebug wasn't really sure if they wanted to be open yet. Like Danny definitely like had talks about it, like behind closed doors of like, what do we do? And he was kind of like, no, we're not going to do it. We're going to wait for the state to be cool with it. So I'm there like, all right, cool. I heard Impact down in Oregon's going to be open. He's like, all right, we'll have fun with that. I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna. And I put up in the DBS chat between all of us factory people, I'm like, hey, who wants to go down to Oregon this weekend? Like, we'll rent a hotel here. They're open. We'll just get a room here, and then we'll go to Impact. It's like 20, 30 minutes away. And everyone's like super game because we're all young at this point in time. Other than Gabe, he's old still. He's old as dirt.
Still
So
Grandpa
everyone
Gabe.
else is really young. Gabe's like the old man. But we get 2 rooms because Gabe also won't. He's an old man. I think it's his bowels probably or something like that. He needed his own bathroom, but he wouldn't let us go up to his room. So him and Cage had a room, and then me, Jared Tabobo, Brandon Trung, Jordan Garcia, and Derek Gilpin all had a room, and me. So like all of us stayed in this 2-bedroom room that were tiny ass beds, and we all had to like spoon with each other and shit. But Bobo's like this one who's like, I'm gonna go take a shower, and I'm like, dude, you're like taking the one bathroom all of us are sharing, but all right. So he goes into the shower, and the second the door shut, like I looked at Jordan Garcia, we looked at each other, and we're like ice, and we just went running for the door, and we go running downstairs, getting in the elevator, get down, go to the ice machine, get as much ice as we absolutely could. And then I remembered this. I didn't say this part yesterday. We actually went to Gabe's door too and tried shoving ice under Gabe's door, and it wasn't working because the slit was too like short because it was like actually a nice hotel and not ghetto. So then we had to run back before it all melted back to our room, and I opened the door and I can hear Bobo go, "Hello?" And I just dump this ice all over him, over the railing, and his squeal was the funniest fucking thing ever to me. And then another one was I played in California with Factory, and Dusty was with us this event, and I'm shoving Cage in the pool every time he walks by, like, or if I didn't, I at least attempted to. And then I got Jordan, I got Brandon, I got Bobo. And then Dusty sat like behind the glass door, and I didn't realize him. And I'm walking by, and Dusty bum rushed me like full on, like he was gonna take me, and we're both going in. And I don't know, cat-like reflexes, spun and just wrestle sprawled with him. And I was like, we're not going in the water, Dusty. We're not going. And we spun around wrestling, grabbing each other's legs and everything. And then finally he gets on my shirt and he's trying to pull me. And I'm trying to do the weaseling thing of getting him to take my shirt off for me. And last second, he was able to manage to still make it grab my neck, but he almost barely got me in and went in himself. And it's memories like that that are 100% always going to be some of the best. They don't even require playing paintball.
For
It just
real, dude.
requires a paintball tournament somewhere out of state.
That's like one recently I had. I think it was Ninja Ball E1, dude. I stay at my boy Hayden's house, and like we're on like, I came down Friday. I spent Friday doing drills. I came out of his house. He just got back from like a tattoo appointment. We're both tired as fuck. He just finished working like overtime. We're like, okay, let's go get some chicken teriyaki. I was like, okay, let's get some chicken teriyaki. We go back to his house. He's got 2 dogs. His 2 dogs are a little slow, kind of missing some brain cells, I think. Like, he has this black lab. It's not very smart, okay? And he can second on that one, okay? And we're sitting there. I was like, I have this bottle. This is like iced tea, right? Put it on the couch, right? I was like, okay. Like, walk away. The dog grabs it, right? Dog will like chew something until his gums start bleeding. And next thing I know, I look over and Hayden has this bottle, and the dog is like dragging him across the floor. Hayden's like, "Give me the damn bottle!" And it's like this. Does a full circle, and Hayden's just getting dragged across his floor, dude. I got it all on video too. I was like, "What is happening?" We
Dogs are
both look at
great.
each other and just can't stop laughing. I'm like, bro, your dog just dragged your ass from one end of your kitchen to the other.
Isn't it Cody who has the dog that's always at the field in the bed of his truck?
Yeah.
I love that dog. I love everyone who brings animals to the field. Like, I want you to know those are the days that I'm my happiest because I don't want to do anything else but play with your animals. Like,
When can you bring Bowser to the field? When can we
Yeah.
see Bowser?
now that it's actually nice, I literally like that's funny you mentioned that. It is nice enough that depending on the schedule and when I get matches, because it is an hour and a half away from my house, if it was one of those things where I get like a mid afternoon or mid morning match, I definitely have time to wake him up, get him squared away, and I could totally take him to the field all day.
That would be awesome.
Like, we're just about there because my work lets me take him to work with me too. So like, I'll literally, because it's only my work is 150 feet away. If I'm like, you know what, it's slow, I want my bearded dragon, they'll be like, all right, go get him, and I'll run down, grab him, put him in his little carrier, bring him back up, and then just put him on my shoulder. And customers will be like, where did this come from? And I'll be like, it's the new store pet.
It's my new manager,
Yeah.
dude. Runs the store.
It's the new mascot.
So is Factory running any tournament? Like, do you guys plan on traveling at all this year, or like anytime in the near future? Because I know there was talks about that at some
There
point.
was talks about it, and there's definitely still thoughts about it, but if everyone on the squad came to me and said, hey, we all want to play this event, then I'm more than willing to do it. It comes down to they all look at me for planning, and I don't think they realize that, like, part of Factory's niche right now is Gabe's old. Gabe's forever D4 at Ninja Ball. Gabe is not forever D4 at WCPPL or an NXL. So our roster has to slightly shift where I have to either bench him, his son, Cage, or Nathan, as it would sit right now, for us to play a D4 event outside of Ninja Ball. And that's kind of a hard task in my position because all three of them bring their own key to what Factory is right now. Factory is not Factory without Gabe. Factory is not Factory without Cage. Factory is not Factory without Nathan. Like, so for me to be like, hey, one of you guys can't play, I don't like doing that. So the real goal was for me to find other people that wanted to go play a D3 event. And I found a couple, but I didn't find enough that I felt like would be the right fit. And there's plenty of people that are like, yo, let me put my hand in the ring. But they also don't realize that I'm never going to ask my people to invest in something that I wouldn't invest in myself. And I'm only going to invest if I believe that I'm actually going to go out there and like win an event. At minimum podium, but like if I'm signing up, like I'm planning on winning.
Especially if they're going to like NXLs, and that's like $1,000 for entry now.
That's exactly my point. It's way different.
Accommodations, it adds up to a lot. That's why I
a couple of fun
stepped
team
away
dinners
from playing WNXL, because me being me, I'm still young at the time. I think, when did WNXL start? A couple years ago? I think I would have been either 22 or 23.
I would want to say like 4 years ago.
I was like 21, 22. And I was like, I don't have the money for this. My mom looks at me, she's like, I can't help you, dude. I was like, I had to make the decision to step away. I hated it, but I was like, I just can't afford it. I was like, I'm not married. I don't have somebody that can help me fund my like traveling.
And perks right there to any person, especially in paintball, that has a supportive spouse. That makes the biggest difference. And I think some people don't realize, because like, I guess I don't even realize how young both of you two probably are compared to me in reality. Like, I know you guys.
You're 22?
Yeah, I just
You're
turned 22.
A baby. Holy fuck, dude.
Ansley, how old are you?
24.
You're a baby too. Shut up. Jesus
he
Christ.
was like
I'm
my
30.
age,
what?
dude.
You're only 2 years older than me.
I thought you were
I'm
like
33.
my age, brother.
No, I'm 22.
But there's this point where like younger people bite off a little bit more than they can chew. And that was another thing. Like, you want to talk hiccups for factory? That was a hiccup this year. I had people tell me, hey, I want to commit. I want to play. I'll be there X, Y, and Z. And then for like 6 weeks straight, I'm getting nothing but excuses as to why you can't play. And I'm like, well, I can't build a team when you're not out here playing, right? Like, everyone's got to be on the same page. And the same page is you can miss here and there, but you shouldn't be missing more than you're playing.
So we talked like a lot about playing paintball. When I first stepped into DBS, I knew you as SM photography. Seth, the camera guy, did taking some of
Yeah,
the best pictures I've seen. Honestly, some of the best pictures that I have of myself. What
appreciate it.
made you want to step into that side of the sport? Kind of just taking photos instead of playing, and like, what was that like moment that you were like, I should pick up a camera and shoot some pictures?
Not being able to go to the field and people not bug me to play. So I had a heart problem one day. My heart kind of stopped, and I had to get looked at for a little bit and checked on. And the doctor told me I needed to take a break from the paintball, the energy drinks, smoking, a lot of these toxic things. And I'm not saying paintball is toxic, but I'm saying my body was not at the point of wanting to be stressed out like that. And they were like, you just need to take a break. Every time I went to the field, people would be like, well, here's a gun. Here's my mask. Go play. Go play 1 point. Like, you could just play the 2. And that's such a, I'm guilty of it too. I'm pretty sure I said it when you broke your foot. Like, you could just play the 2. Like, you don't got to run from the 2.
Dude, I had
Like,
that offer so much when I didn't know my foot was broken. I was like, I shouldn't. I shouldn't. Just
so
play the 2.
like,
Play the 2, bro. I was like,
I kind of
Better
have
yet, play
a
the
little bit
3.
of that. And when I needed something to make people stop, I realized a camera worked. I was dating a girl that had access to a camera. She was like, why don't you go try taking paintball pictures one day? I was like, you know what? Why not? I'll give it a try. And I had a blast. And from there, I was like, I literally think it was like my next paycheck. I ordered a camera from Amazon, like one of those Nikon kits off Amazon. I was like, oh my God, this is great. And then I was like hooked from there. I was like, oh, I'm going to go spend $1,500-$1,600 on a lens. I'm going to buy another camera body. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And that's where SM photography became, was I needed an excuse to not play paintball, but still be able to be at the field. Now, I would rather be at the field playing paintball than doing photos. But it's more, I felt more rewarded at an early career of it than I do now. And I'm not meaning like money, like anything like that. I'm meaning the rewardingness of like feeling like I had a good day doing it. It became a point where so many people would be messaging me before I'm even home from whatever it is. Yo, are photos done yet? Yo, photos done yet? And I'm like, you guys don't realize that, like, it was those moments that then pushed me to where I would go to whatever it is. I get home, I start loading. I do not go to sleep like the rest of you. I edit. And then when you guys then wake up for your next day of work, I'm still editing and awake from the day before. And by the way, you guys only played one of the tournaments. I'm there for both of the tournaments. And then I'm editing for a third day and still haven't slept. And then usually by the fourth day, I'm praying to God I can release them, because in releasing them was my moment of, okay, I can actually rest now. I can go enjoy myself and do whatever it is I want to do. And I did it so many times. And my wife's like, you're overworking yourself. Like, you can take longer. Like, there's nothing saying you have to be done in 48 hours. And I said, yeah, I'm not saying I need to be, but everyone messaging me sure makes me feel like I need to be. And so that is kind of why I'm not out doing photos anymore. Is I just needed a little bit of a stress break from it. I just needed to, enjoy going back to paintball, not dreading going back to paintball.
Yeah, I kind of had that similar issue. I used to take photos of my buddies skating all the time and be like, go do these competitions. I'd take photos and be like, so when are you gonna get them done? I was like, brother, I'm not even home. First of all, like I want to go home, I want to shower, I want to eat food, I want to spend time with my family. And then I'd be like, hey, fuck all that, dude. I'm gonna get home, log on to my computer, and I'd sit here for hours, dude, just going through, picking through. I'd have thousands of pictures of like 2, 3 big competitions, right? Sit there, and it was like, I don't get these out at a certain time. I feel like it makes me look bad, and my turnaround time is too slow. And they're like, turnaround time's too slow. Who's gonna want to actually book me to pay me for photos? Who's gonna
Yep.
be my homies, right? And that's when
Yep.
I stepped away for like good 8, 9 years from everything, like taking photos, doing videos, video editing. I was like, just needed a break, and I was like, I could actually not be stressed out about trying to get something out on a time frame that I think I was set, right?
You've experienced it. Dylan, have you ever done photos?
No. No, yeah, I can't recall ever doing it. I did a journalism class in like 8th grade. That was about it.
Okay, so here's the deal. You're going to be there Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you playing or are you like hanging out?
I'm playing.
Okay, so when you're not playing, I'll have my camera, I'll have it all ready. I'll even let you take the memory card. You're gonna take photos as much as you can, and you have to take like a whole memory card. And then you need to go home and you have to like try to get those done as fast as you can and get as many done as you can and make them all look as different as possible. Okay. And then you'll like just that one time and you'll feel like, oh shit, I know what this means. Like, or I know how this feels firsthand now because it is quite the experience trying to like knock these things out.
Dude, I had like flashbacks. I was like, I'm gonna pick up the camera and go take some pictures at 10, man, dude. I was like, what did I just do? I had people messaging me. I had no idea who these people were. They're like, I don't have my friends on Facebook message. I saw you had a camera. Your photos done yet? Photos done yet? I was like, oh my god, what did I just step back into? I was like, I just wanted
Yeah.
to be on the field, present, and just be around people and not be like, here's a gun, or just being like, fuck, I wish I could play, right?
Yep, that's the exact feeling I had. And then it becomes a little overwhelming to one point. Like I was doing really well with it and like I guess you could almost say like feeding the ego, like this feels really good. But then it got to a point where I was just like, this feels like a very underwhelming job for me. Like I'm doing so much effort now and I'm not actually like seeing either one, my pay look like what I would want it to for the amount of effort I'm putting in, or two, just my sanity. Like I hated when things would finally be done and then I'd have like a grumpy mood and I'm coming home like kind of grouchy, and it'd be grouchy because oh, my phone went off 15 times on the drive and it's all different people bugging me. When are the photos done? Are they going to be done yet? Will you just send them directly to me? Can I get a deal? Can I? And I'm like, yeah, it gets old quick.
I hope I was never like that. I really hope I was never like that. So I apologize in advance to either you, Parker, or Conker.
I'll like meme Parker sometimes, be like, hey, is the photos done yet?
Yeah.
Because I know what it's like.
It definitely like even if anyone did it, like if you guys did do it, like I don't want you to feel like I'm bitching about you as like a person. It's just in like in the moment, and it's also people don't realize that everyone kind of lives at different lengths, right? Like I used to live 15 minutes away from the field all the time. So I always felt like everyone kind of had that, right? And now coming from an hour and a half each way, I'm like, yo, I have to plan for paintball now. It isn't just
lap right now.
yeah, this is my cat. No, she's got anxiety.
I saw a
This is
tail, dude, and I was like, that's a cat. We need to see the cat.
Yeah, she basically my wife saved her and her sister, and then when me and her got together, this cat decided it wanted to be my cat, and it is attached to me all the time. It will sit in my lap 24/7. She screams at me to be in my lap all the time. The only time she doesn't want to be in my lap or like next to me is in bed, and that's because I roll in bed. So that's when she's my wife's cat again. But if we're not in bed, this is my cat. Like I can hold her up, do the Simba, hold her up upside down. She just, here, you want to do Simba real quick for everybody? Woo! She's long.
That's a long cat. Holy,
She's a
dude.
long cat. Okay, go do
No.
something else though. No, yeah, look at me like you're gonna get in my lap. Yeah, go over there.
So, Seth, kind of closing it out here. I kind of changed up the question from yesterday. I said I
What are
thought
you
that
talking
question
about?
was a
Nothing
little
happened
too.
yesterday.
I know. Yeah, what do you mean? Nothing. We totally didn't have a
What?
editing
What are you
kit
talking about,
going.
dude?
What? Yeah, what? Seth,
Did I
in
dream yesterday happened?
yeah. Seth, in the next 5 years, if you were to step away from the game, what is something you would want to change about, like, what was something you would want to leave behind and kind of mold your claim at DBS and for Factory? And the second half of that question is, and we're kind of going to start asking this to every host because it is about a paintball podcast in the Pacific Northwest, is what does paintball in the what's so special about paintball in the Pacific Northwest to you?
What would I want to leave behind first?
Gotta make him think now, dude.
What would I want to leave behind
Get them
first?
brain cells pumping.
Put you
So
on
in
the spot.
reality, I know it's been talked about a little bit, and of course it's going to mention the 7-man comment. I asked Danny about trying to host a 7-man. And not only just host a 7-man, I wanted to do a 7-man series, but with hype. Me and Ian wanted to do this together, where it was kind of our way of giving back to the local community, something fun, but also going back to something that me and him resonate with. Like, you two didn't get to experience MPPL Huntington Beach. You didn't get to experience MPPL Vegas. And even Smart Parts Tour, when they were doing that in that warehouse whole series, there's a couple of things back then that were very iconic and resonated over the years. So me and him talked, and I really wanted to bring something like that back. And I'm still trying. I'm still trying to figure out how to get logistically it able to happen. But I want to see a 7-man series at Doodlebug, even if it's only 1 to 3 events a year, but it be a yearly thing, and it be something to where, we give a giant trophy to like the winning coach, have a plaque that gets added on each year, and it be something that when we go into the pro shop, like most of us do, we look at that and it resonate with us, being like, I was on this year and this year, and I won with this coach and that coach. Like, I want something like that, because I think something like that can always draw a newish crowd and help guide people through the right way. And then I forget the
I
second
think
part of that now.
they're going in the right direction right now with Friday. Like I think it's
Friday Night Brawls.
Friday Night Ball with the Street Ball 3-man coming up. Where they're just it's no teams, right? It's full random draw, and that's what I grew up playing up here was Street Ball 3-man. No teams. There's always day of full. You're like, you guys, you could end up having 3 snake players on one team. That happened to me one
I
time. It's
definitely
me,
think, like,
B
it's
Reed,
not.
and another snake guy, dude. And I was like, what
But
do we do?
it makes you like, it makes you spend time with everyone, because guess what? I don't think I've ever played a point with you, and I know I've never played a point with Dylan. But that comes down, I played against you guys, but I've never had you.
Bro.
Yeah, but you've never been on the box with me, right? But back when I started, we used to do it where I literally, as the ref, would be like, okay, next 5 people in, and you started on one side, I chrono your guns, and then when the point's over, you go to the other side. If one of you guys couldn't make it, I just was like, hey, I need one more for this side, and I made everyone literally play with each other, right? And I kind of miss that, because I feel like some of the, not bad blood or toxic behavior, but some of the like nitpickiness or the chirping. Yeah, the
little clicks.
Yeah, clicks. That's a good way. That's a good, yes. We're very clicky right now. And I think the clickiness comes that we're not all playing a few points intermingling. Like we're not seeing points where we're seeing a PTN player, a factory player, an exile player, a lost boy player, and then a mud dog player, right? And I think if anything, that's what I want eventually within 5 years. We figure out a way for us to do some form of 7-man, and then also picking some way to where we can all start intermingling together a little bit better, because when we're all intermingling together a little bit better, we all give each other better practices, we give each other better information, and we all try to make each other better paintball players. But right now, when we're all being cliques and clashy, we're not trying to benefit anybody but ourselves.
Well, the second part of that question is what does paintball in the Pacific Northwest mean to you?
What does it mean to me? It's definitely a home. I think one of the coolest parts is it's not just like, I'm not talking just Doodlebug. I could go to KC's and there's going to be people I know and recognize and can conversate with and feel like a family with. I can go to OP and find people. I can go to Impact and find people. And I'm sure I could go over the border into Canada and find
100%
people.
you will, dude.
It's that community is what I love the most. It's you're always able to have a nice, friendly conversation and a fun atmosphere. I think I heard it from you, Dylan, when you said it with Danny. Like everyone's there to have a good time, and that's the like real positive thing. Is like most people are there having a great freaking time. So it's really hard for me to have a bad time when everyone around me is having a great fucking time.
And just the
So,
quality of practice you get too.
yeah, we've gotten very competitive. When I first started at Doodlebug, we were lucky to get like 30, 40 people when we did these outdoor days. Right now we're seeing like 100 plus sometimes, and I'm like, this is wild. Do either of you guys think we see like more than 17, 18 teams in either division this year for Ninja Ball?
I'm seeing it right now, dude. Like I just looked at Ninja Ball for this upcoming event. The D4 obviously is always a little struggle. There's already 15 D5 teams signed up.
But I think the record is 17.
I think so. We might.
I don't think a division has ever been more than 17 in either of them.
I think we might see it this year.
Yeah. So to anybody who's listening, I'm talking to my people down in Oregon. We had a team from California last event.
We did, yeah.
Come out here and let's break this record, y'all.
There was teams from Hawaii years before.
Last year, dude.
There was teams from Hawaii years before you guys were around. We had teams fly in from Hawaii for Ninja Ball. Just so everybody knows, I am that old and I remember that.
We even had Team 406 Freedom, a bunch of dogs from Montana.
Yep.
But yeah, well, Seth, thank you for your time tonight, brother. Thank you for coming on the show. And just thank you, man. You've been a real inspiration to both of us. So, Seth, thank you, man.
I appreciate you guys having me on, taking the time to talk. I very much look forward to seeing what happens with both of you two and your endeavors through paintball and where you guys end up. Just know I want the best for both of you. And everyone remember rule number 4 at Doodlebug: be inclusive. So if you guys ever need someone to practice with, if you guys ain't practicing, feel free to give me a call.
Heck yeah. Seth, thank you, brother.
You're welcome, guys.
Heck yeah.
It was good talking with you. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm going to go play with my cat now.
Heck yeah. Have a good night, Seth. All right, guys. Well, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We have a couple of quick announcements. So we currently just hit over 100 subscribers on Instagram. So big shout out to everybody. Shout out to our sponsors: Big Cat Paintball, MacGyver for Hire, and Doodlebugs Outdoor Paintball Park and Doodlebug Pro Shop.
Right here.
And that being said, guys, we have a special announcement. So we're working through the jersey designs right now, but Ian, the guy from Hype, will be designing long tech tees and jerseys. I think Ainsley said she's finishing up the design tonight. And we're gonna be getting a pre-order going in about, what would you say, like the next, hopefully, week or two here?
I give it a little bit more time since Ninja Ball's coming up, right?
Yeah.
So maybe aiming probably a week or two.
But within the next month. Within the next month, we will have a design. We will have pre-orders and everything. End of May, we will have something. Then we have one more announcement as well.
Oh yeah, so I'm sure some of you guys might have saw it on Instagram. Dylan made a post. Once we reach 100 subscribers on YouTube, we're gonna be giving away a jersey. I believe you said it was Enemy of State jersey.
The most
Correct?
Agus jerseys around. Yeah.
So that'll be a sick jersey to do. We'll just go through the subscriber list, take everyone's names, and just put them in a wheel and spin it, and maybe you could be one of those guys. So let's get that number up to 100. And as well, we also have Spotify. I just started up Spotify. Both the links for the YouTube and Spotify are on the Instagram. Yeah, let's just grow both of those.
With that being said, you guys have a great night. We'll catch y'all next week as we have Dusty
We got
Court.
a banger, dude.
We got a banger coming. Actually, it's not
talking
even a
about
banger because you know what?
Dover.
Every episode we have is a banger. So Dusty Court's gonna be talking about Dover. Guys, we can't wait to see you on the next one. And with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in and have a good night.
Peace.
Peace.